Hello everybody, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thanks for joining us here on YouTube. Be sure to check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com for everything Royal Caribbean related. And every Monday we're live, including right now, unless you're watching this video on the replay, then hello. But we are hanging out answering your cruise questions here on YouTube. After all, it is all about you guys and answering as many questions as I possibly can. And Sophie Burns is our good friend and our first chatter in here. Welcome, Sophie. We got Katie Plays, we got Michael Lee in the house. Rosewater is here as well. Hello, Pascal. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Brandon is here. Elisa Belgrove. Harley Owens. Amon is here. Heather Alexander. We got Mark. Zachary is here. Joseph is here as well. Nathan. Veronica Chantra. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. My name is Matt. I am from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. You are here, and we're here to talk Royal Caribbean together. Thanks for joining us. Let's start off today's live broadcast with the most important question. How many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Have your countdown in chat right now. Let's count down together. I believe I am at 48 days until my Harmony of the Seas spring break cruise. Jen Mather, your first time watcher. Welcome, Jen. Glad to have you here. Again, my name is Matt. Welcome. We've got York Ragsdale in the house. Celeste is here. Pat Jeffrey. Ryan Dagg. Anthony Kirby, welcome. Josette Fullard, 88 days. Angie at 83 days. Wait a minute, do we already have a super chat to start off our broadcast? Travis Kissner. Welcome, my friend. Thank you. Travis writes, woo, I caught the beginning of the stream. Travis, welcome, my friend. Thank you for your very kind generosity. Glad to have you here. A lot of great countdowns coming up here. Got 10, 32. Excuse me. Tim Gallagher, 131 till Oasis of the Sea. Shannon E. at 156 till Navigator. Don Rolla's on Navigator of the Seas in one more week. Lisa Belgrove at 10 more days. Lisa, when you wake up tomorrow, make sure you do the single digit dance when you wake up. Conference King, looking forward to November 1st, transatlantic with Barcelona. Nice. Now, of course, guys, we're also here, in addition to the countdown, to answer your cruise questions. What can I help answer about your upcoming cruise? What can we talk about? Maybe there's a question about your upcoming sailing. Perhaps there's something you read at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com that you wanted to talk about. We're here to do all that. Hello, Michelle from Pittsburgh. Welcome. Daisy Roman at 216 days. Sophie at 113. Joanne Pugsley at 48 days. Michael Garner at 47 days. Vitamin Water, does it count if my grandparents are on a cruise? Well, I mean, it's your family. You're not, I'm assuming that means you're not going, but yeah, sure. Put your grandparents' countdown in there. I like that. Nick Clymer wants to know, are you going to be on the revamped Allure of the Seas this fall? Nick, I don't have any plans currently to sail on Allure of the Seas. Maybe something will change by the end of the year, but right now, unfortunately not. Black Tigress, first time catching your live stream, working on your first cruise for your birthday. Make it happen. Jelly Jack wants to know, has Royal Caribbean said anything about the Icon class? The Icon class, of course, is the next new class of Royal Caribbean ships that are coming out. But no, there's been absolutely, positively no news about the Icon class since the initial announcement. There's been nothing in probably well over a year since we've heard about it. Tyler Walsh-Ledger, is there any difference between the Oasis of the Seas and the Allure of the Seas when it'll be amplified? Yes, Tyler, it's a really good question. There are going to be some minor noticeable differences. First and foremost, I would say that Allure of the Seas is getting Giovanni's table completely redone. It's going to be Giovanni's Italian kitchen and wine bar. So it's getting a major update, whereas Oasis did not get that update for its Giovanni's table. That's one really big difference right there. Preston, what would you recommend to do in Juneau, Alaska? There's a lot of great stuff to do in Juneau. My favorite thing, go to Mendenhall Glacier State Park. State Park or National Park? I'm not sure. But Mendenhall Glacier Park, take a taxi over there. I went there the first time when I went to Alaska in Juneau. Loved it. Going back again in June. And definitely going to hit that up again. It's a great spot. You go, the trails, it's very easy trails. They bring you really close to the glacier. It's fantastic. You're going to love it over there. Lauren Fetch, do you have any information on Royal Caribbean Alaska land add-on for post-cruise worth doing with Royal Caribbean or adding on land days ourselves? I think you add on with Royal Caribbean. I think it is worth doing, especially going through Royal Caribbean, Lauren, because you're already doing the cruise. So by doing the land portion, if you're doing it afterwards, it's fantastic because Royal Caribbean will then take you and bring you there. So they help provide the glue between the two of them. But also, more importantly, they're offering you an excellent land-based tour. I've heard nothing but great things about Lauren. I would highly recommend it. Richard Boardman, your first time cruise at age 71, brother. I love that. That's great. It's never too late to get started with cruising, or early. We've got a couple super chats coming in. Whoa! Life with Wolf, Saber Wolf. Thanks for all the great tips, information, and joy. Thank you very much. And we've got a big super chat from MJ. MJ, thank you. MJ has a question for us on the key. I watched your video last week and was on the blog page researching. Is it more worth to have the key on a larger ship than versus a smaller ship Rhapsody? To some extent, yes, in the sense that it helps you with maybe some of the shows on board. It's a good question, MJ. To some extent, yes. Let me put it this way: is the key have added or additional value or better value on a larger ship like Oasis of the Seas versus Rhapsody? Yeah, I can see that form of logic. I'm not saying it's a slam dunk difference, but there probably is a couple areas where it'll benefit. So I would say yes. Zachary Brent, when will LA sailings be announced for booking? I really don't know, my friend. It's a good question. At this point, Zachary, it is still very firmly a rumor, and you should consider it a rumor because we haven't heard anything from Royal Caribbean one way or another about it. Josh, is there Gatorade on Navigator? I definitely know they have Powerade. Powerade, of course, is the brand of Coca-Cola, their Gatorade equivalent, and I know they have that on the ship for sure. Angie wants to know, does the Tween Club scan kids' bands or SeaPass cards every time they check in? I have a 12-year-old and wondering if there's any kind of record each time when they check in. Yes. So anytime you come into Adventure Ocean or out of Adventure Ocean, and I believe the Teen Club may be the same, because the Teen Club, granted, I don't have any kids that have experience there, but my understanding is yes, while you can check yourself in and out of there as a teen, it still has a record of it. Again, could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty darn sure about that one. Beth Wood has a question. In my research, I saw a special area of the main dining room that seems like select items. Is that included in the standard menu fare, or is it something you have to have the dining package for? Neither. So the main dining room menu has three parts, Beth. There is the part of the menu, the first half of the menu, which is always changing. Every day it's brand new, that area changes, right? It's got a different theme to it, but it'll change every day. Then you have the classics, and the classics are something that never change, right? There's always a pasta, so usually spaghetti bolognese. There's always a chicken. There's always a beef dish of some kind. There's a French onion soup. Those stay the same all the time. And then on top of all that, you have a couple items you can pay extra for. Chops Grill steak, lobster from Chops Grill as well. This has an additional cost. You cannot use your dining packages towards it. It's just simply an additional cost if you really want like filet mignon from Chops in the main dining room. I would tell you, I have never ordered them. Any of those items. I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you're going to get specialty dining, you go to a specialty restaurant. So, but to each their own. We have another super chat from Kelly Fry. Kelly, thank you so much. Kelly writes, we'll be taking our granddaughter when she is 5 on our first cruise. Do you reckon a bigger or smaller ship? Kelly, you know what? Especially for first timers, I think the bigger the ship, the better. The reason being, with the newer, larger ships, Royal Caribbean has dedicated more space and offerings to children. Yeah, if given the choice, Kelly, between Oasis of the Seas or Majesty, absolutely, Oasis. If we're talking about Voyager class or Freedom class or Quantum class, it doesn't really matter all that much. It's really when you're talking about anything larger than, say, a Radiance class ship. Thank you for the super chat, Kelly. Matthew Winchick has got our next super chat. Thank you, Matthew. Holy, you guys are super generous today. Matthew wants to know, do you take your passports with you on shore in the ports? Matthew, never leave home or your stateroom. Never leave your stateroom without your passport. Yes, I always take it with me. It is, to me, the reason you have a passport is if you got stuck somewhere, right? And I am not relying on somebody else to drop off my belongings in case I miss the ship. You don't want to do that. It's about personal responsibility, Matthew. And I believe that when I go on a shore excursion, anywhere off the ship, with the exception of Perfect Day, Coco Key, and maybe Labadee, I will take my passport with me. We've got another super chat, a giant super chat. Holy moly. Kim Oakland. Kim, thank you so much. Thank you for all of the information. It has been super helpful. Kim, I am really glad you're enjoying this. Hello, Mr. Matty. Welcome. Mr. Matty, only say hello one time. It's all good. I see the messages there. Cindy Whitehair is here. Welcome. Richard Borman, where's the best coffee in Liberty of the Seas that is included in the beverage package? Cafe Promenade, my friend. Cafe Promenade. You will love it there. Jellyfish Gaming, any idea when the Giovanni's Italian Kitchen menu will be released? No. I hope we'll get it before Allure debuts. Actually, I take that back. I do know when we're going to know about it. Before Allure, Freedom of the Seas is getting the same change. And Freedom is in dry dock right now. So I think Jellyfish, we're going to see that menu at the very least by her first sailing back. Jake Dombrowski wants to know, can you please explain the dining package and its benefits? Absolutely. The dining package is a way that you can enjoy multiple restaurants for a fraction of the cost of paying for the same restaurants a la carte, paying them individually. There's a trade-off. On the one hand, you get to save money. On the other hand, Royal Caribbean says, okay, you're going to wait, Jake, until you get on board the ship to make reservations. So you give up a little bit of flexibility for substantial savings, quite frankly. So once you get on board the ship, Jake, then you make your reservations with the available spots that are left. Not to worry. In my experience, I do dining packages almost every cruise. Never had any issues getting into restaurants. The key is to make reservations on that very, very first day. Justin, any comments on Empress of the Seas? Justin, Empress is a small ship. When it comes to Empress and Majesty, I get a lot of questions about these ships. And it really boils down to, you have to understand what these ships offer, why, what they don't have on board, what they do have on board, and be okay with it. It's a small ship. There is no flow rider. There are no water slides. There is no Queen of England. There is no Royal Promenade, right? These things don't exist on these ships anyway. That's a really, really lame Megamind joke right there. Anyway, the bottom line is they don't have those things, but they do have the classic cruising experience. We're saying, Matt, I want to go hang out by the pool, relax, chill out, sleep in, have a classic cruise experience. Yeah, those ships still offer that. But if you want whiz bang and doodads and escape rooms and laser tag and a ton of specialty restaurants, you're not getting any of that on a ship like Empress. So it's really about expectations. Let's see here. Monobuzz, can I bring chips and candy on board? Sure, absolutely. And there's plenty of food on board, but if you got a hankering for a specific brand, sure, go for it. April Mason, leaving on alert in 20 days. We bought the drinks package, and they charged us at the gratuities on it right there instead at the end of the cruise, like we thought. It's going to be fun. Yeah, so April, when you buy a drink package, gratuities are part of the drink package. That way, April, when you order a drink, you're not responsible for paying gratuities at the time of ordering. It's all set. It's all included. You're good to go. The gratuities at the end of the cruise that you're referring to are for something different. Those gratuities are still subject to being charged to you, April. Those gratuities are for your stateroom attendant and the dining room staff. So different things. Jess Gordon, does Royal Caribbean have any virgin mixed drinks? Absolutely, Jess. Any alcoholic cocktail can be made into a non-alcoholic drink. Julie wants to know, if on a whim, decide that we want to have lunch at Zabor, Izumi, or Jamie's, can we walk in for lunch and do you have to pretty much have a reservation for lunch? No, the answer is yes. You can absolutely show up there, hope for the best. Most cases, Julie, the answer is you'll probably get in. I have been turned away sometimes, but lunch especially, Julie, is not very competitive. It's more dinner that gets a little more competitive over there. Mr. Matty, do you get a Royal Genie in the Grand Suite? You do not. Caitlin wants to know, what are some tips for Oasis of the Seas? Read a past cruise compass, Caitlin. So after this video, go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. In our main menu, there's a link that says Cruise Compasses. Click on that, and you'll find past cruise compasses. The reason why reading a past cruise compass, which is that daily newspaper available on board the ship, is so important is because it'll give you an idea of what's offered on board, timing, how many times it's offered, things of that nature. It really is very, very helpful. Number two, when you get on board the ship, get on board the ship early. I would arrive to the cruise terminal around 10:30 a.m. or so, and then I would plan on walking around. The first day, it is really important to get your bearings, explore the ship, see where everything is, walk around as much as you can. Number three, before the cruise, book your entertainment. You can reserve on Oasis of the Seas shows and entertainment before the cruise. There's no cost to it. Got nothing to lose, everything to gain. So make a reservation. If you're not seeing it yet, that's okay. It'll become available about 45 to 60 days before you're sailing. And Tim Gallagher says Oasis is amazing. So there you go. Jane, can you recommend anything for solo cruisers? I think get an internet package. And the reason why I say that, Jane, is because if you get an internet package on board, then you at least, while you maybe not have anyone you know to talk to, you have the internet. You can share stuff with friends and family. Also, strike up conversations with crew members. Crew love to talk. And since you're by yourself, it's a great opportunity to keep a conversation going. So whether you're at a bar, a restaurant, anywhere really, see a crew member, feel free, as long as they're not busy doing something, to chat up with them. And then also look for some special deals for solo cruisers, whether there's special solo rooms available on certain ships, or maybe just a deal that's out there where there's less of the single supplement available. Daisy wants to know, what's included with the Relaxation Area 7-day pass, Oasis of the Seas? I think you're referring to the thermal spa, Daisy. And that is essentially, there's a couple of different areas. There's the rainforest room, or something like that, where they have thermal chairs. There's different showers that like cool you down. There's a sauna. There's a steam room. There's a couple other things of that nature. Joseph wants to know, when does the app start working for your cruise? When you get on board the ship? It'll work in a couple weeks beforehand, but it's pretty useless. I mean, I don't know why you could take a look at it if you're really curious. But as soon as you get on board the ship, it will absolutely start working. Daisy wants to know, is Sabor a complimentary restaurant? No, it costs extra. Cruise Addicts, question, if 2 in the cabin are diamond and 1 is not, you think there'll be a problem if the person comes along with us on embarkation day? You know, dude, that's a really good question. I have seen it both ways. The answer is it really depends. It depends on who you're talking to when you get to the terminal. The people that work in the terminal, some take their jobs very seriously and will not allow it. Other times, if you as the diamond go first and be like, oh yeah, it's our group, here, look, we're diamond, they'll just be like, just go in there. You know what I mean? So I would try that at the very least, but you have to be okay with the answer being, oh, they have to go over there. I've seen it both ways. Let's see here. QLD fan, if they have changed the diamond menu, will that include a virgin lava flow? Theoretically, it should. I would think so. John Mack, is there an app for Freedom after the new amplification? John, officially the answer is no, but I think once Freedom of the Seas rejoins the fleet, I think the app will become available for that ship. Vitamin Water, if I don't do online check-in at least 3 days prior to my sail date, what would happen? You're going to end up wasting a lot of time at the cruise terminal. Not a lot of time, but you'll be wasting time is really what it's going to amount to. Doing the online check-in saves you time. I know, like, when it comes to airplanes, I never do online check-in for my flight because I still got to go check my luggage anyway. What do I care? I'm going to print out the paper from the same place I'm dropping off my luggage. On a cruise ship, totally different. Do yourself a favor, do the online check-in. It will make your life a whole lot easier. If you don't, you're just going to have to jump through a couple more hoops and wait around a little bit more. Sophie, can you go to the main dining room by yourself? Absolutely. Bill, what would you recommend to do in Jamaica? Maybe take a couple things. 2 things come to mind. One is Doctor's Cave Beach. I've heard some really good things about that. And the other one is get a day pass to the Hilton Rose Hall Resort. Jess wants to know, what is included in a grand suite on the Quantum class ships? Wi-Fi, upgraded toiletry amenities, obviously the room itself. I mean, you got a bigger room. I'm not going to go into that kind of stuff there. You'll get a bathrobe will be included as well. And access, of course, to the suite lounge. Susan wants to know, what is a diamond menu? You know what? I should have said that before. I apologize, Susan, for just assuming that when you get to a certain point in Crown and Anchor Society, you will reach a level called diamond. See it there at the bottom of my card? Right there. There's many tiers of Crown and Anchor Society. Once you get to diamond, you get certain benefits for doing so. One of which is access to the Diamond Lounge, which is a special area just for diamond guests. And each evening in the Diamond Lounge, there's complimentary alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks. Sibling, can you bring toys for a cruise? Sure, for kids, absolutely. Liz wants to know, should we dress formal during lunch or breakfast at the main dining room? No, absolutely not. Not necessary. You can, but there's no reason to. Let's see here. Fortnite, I've been on 4 Carnival and going on your first Royal Caribbean cruise in April. Any tips? Like I said, I think a lot of tips I give to first timers, I would apply to yourself as well. I know you're not a first time cruiser, but there are some nuances of Royal Caribbean that may differ than Carnival. I think they'll be much more in common than you might think, but check out some of our first time cruise advice over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. What hotel do you recommend in Seattle before Alaska cruise, Catherine? We say downtown. I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express. It was pretty good. I mean, in cities where you have no idea anything about the city, you just want somewhere to sleep. I usually just go to TripAdvisor. I find 4-star or higher resorts or hotels, really, and just book those. It's usually pretty safe if you're booking a 4-star. I think the other thing you want to keep in mind is, what do you want to be like? Do you want to do some touring in downtown Seattle, the Space Needle, the museums, the market over there? Well, then you should probably stay downtown. If you don't really care, well, then stay near the airport and save some bucks, you know? Gerard, do you need specialty dining reservations for lunch? No. Generally speaking, lunch at specialty restaurants, pretty quiet over there. Chris Pat, I'm looking to become a travel agent. You know how I can go about it. Usually the best way to do it, Chris, is to contact the travel agency, let them know what you want to do, and they can really help you greatly. I know that our good friends at MEI Travel often are looking for new folks who want to become a travel agent, so I would maybe check out them, Chris. Go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. You will see that banner right at the top of our page is MEI Travel. Click on that, contact them. That'd be the best way to go about it. Daniel just came off Mariner of the Seas. Missed the second day at Coco Key. Bummer. That does stink, but glad you were on a cruise. Catherine Bentley, can I still use my birth certificate and state ID and birth certificate for kids? If your cruise goes out of the U.S. and it's a closed loop cruise, so it begins in the U.S., ends in the U.S., yes, you can. Make sure it's the original birth certificate, not a photocopy or something like that. Vitamin Water, is the internet fast on the ship with the Voom? It depends on the ship, Vitamin Water. Which ship are we talking about? Some are much faster than others. Some others are, quite frankly, quite slow. Pascal says, love MEI Travel. Michelle takes very care of us. Thank you for supporting our sponsor, MEI Travel. Raphael wants to know, do you recommend Disney Springs for an excursion to Orlando? That's actually a pretty good idea, Raphael. Yeah, Disney Springs is like a shopping district of Disney World. It's not a theme park. It's just a shopping area. But because your hours are so limited, a theme park's kind of a waste of money. So going to Disney Springs, though, is absolutely wonderful. Yeah. Grace wants to know, how crowded do you think Coco Key will be when Oasis and Majesty will be there at the same time? I think it'll be nominal. I don't know that it's not going to be empty, but I think you'll be fine. Not to worry. I've been there with 2 ships of that caliber. There, you're good to go. Oh, I see Michael in the house. Michael, I know you very well, but I can't pronounce your last name. Sorim. I don't want to butcher your name, but Michael, shout out to you, my friend, for all the good help with all the app stuff. Really appreciate that. Daisy wants to know, is the Queen's Staircase walking distance from the cruise ship in Nassau? Yes. If you go put it in Google Maps right now and do the walking option, Daisy, you will see what I'm talking about. It's a very short walk, like 10, 15 minutes at the most. Molly, what is the thermal suite and more specifically the thermal chairs? Thermal suite is a paid area that you can buy. You have to buy it on board the ship. And it's a special area you can come to and use unlimited times in the spa. It's like on demand, if you will. There's only a limited amount of passes they sell. The thermal chairs are these large lounge chairs, if you will. They're shaped like a lounge chair. They're made out of, I think, ceramic, maybe stone, and they're heated up. So when you lay on them, it's really comfortable. It's already warmed up, and it's very relaxing. Have I been to Roatan, Umberto wants to know? Yes, going back to Roatan in March, actually, on Harmony of the Seas. I'm sure you were asking, well, what's the fun thing to do there? Going to Little French Key is usually a very popular option. Garth, I've never been to Tortola, so I apologize. Matt M, sailing out of Vancouver, any hotel recommendations? I've never been to Vancouver before. I think we're going to go to Vancouver in June after our cruise. But maybe someone in our chat can recommend a very good hotel in Vancouver. But again, I'll give you the information I shared with you earlier, which is that when it comes to cities you have no idea where there is, just book a 4-star or higher. It's hard to go wrong over there. Joel writes, dude, you rock, dope info. Going on Brilliance March 7th for your girlfriend's birthday, stopping at Grand Cayman and Cozumel. Which is the best beach and what to do you recommend? Grand Cayman is a beautiful beach, 7 Mile Beach. Go to Royal Palms Beach. Take a taxi. Go to Royal Palms Beach. In Cozumel, if you can drink alcohol legally, then I would recommend Nachi Kokum, El Cosmolino. We're going to post a review of El Cosmolino later this week at Royal Caribbean Blog Time. Basically getting a day pass that includes alcohol. If not, also Paradise Beach is fantastic and a very low cost, Joel. Happy birthday to your girlfriend. Earl, what do you do with all the roller coaster cups you get from your cruises? Only see 3 on the bookshelf. Actually, there's a number of them that are behind there, but these days, Earl, I just leave them on the ship. I don't even bother bringing them home anymore. Unless there's a new design, then I will bring that home. J-Block, any truth to them raising the number of nights to get the diamond? No, J-Block, this is just one of these rumors that people who are paranoid start spreading. Let's see here. Molly, we have the specialty dining package on Harmony and plenty of dinner at the specialty restaurants most nights. Do the formal attire nights apply to specialty dining? They do not, Molly. It's a good question. The formal night, the dress codes in general for the dining room apply only to the dining room. The specialty restaurants dress code supersede what you see over there. We've got our next super chat, Tim Gallagher. Tim, thank you so much for the super chat. Tim writes, my bride and I are celebrating 28 years on September 13th, sailing on Oasis of the Seas out of Cape Liberty. You should join us. Yeah, honey, this guy on the internet is celebrating his wedding anniversary. Invite us to go. So I'm going to go ahead and book that if that's cool. Yeah, I don't know who he is, but I mean, they're inviting us. It'd be rude not to, right? Yeah, I mean, we have to. It's the social responsible thing to do. Thank you, Tim. And Tim, I think, gave me a second super chat. I don't know if that was intentional, but thank you, my friend. Thank you. How do you feel about the staff in Adventure Ocean, Raphael? I think the staff in Adventure Ocean are some of the hardest working, least recognized crew members on any Royal Caribbean ship. They do a fantastic job. They're really good at it. I'm constantly amazed, quite frankly, at their dedication to what they do. It's not just, daycare where they're just sitting there like, hey, Timmy, take the toy out of your mouth. It is really, they focus on making sure they have a great time, entertaining, educational, instructional. They do a great job with all that. Mike Pastor with the super chat. Michael, thank you very much. Great meetup yesterday. Can't wait for the next one. Shout out to Michael. We had a great time yesterday. We did it every so often. We'll do an Orlando area Royal Caribbean Blog meetup, and we had one yesterday. It was a lot of fun. Isis wants to know, does Independence of the Seas have comedy shows? Yes, there are sometimes. There's usually a comedian on board for maybe one night, maybe two. But yes, there will be a comedy show on board. Antoine wants to know, what is my favorite Royal Caribbean ship? Ooh, by far, that's Harmony of the Seas. Love it. Joseph, I think Odyssey might lose a few books by the roadside. Joseph, are you saying that my book collection over there is going to be added because a book from Odyssey of the Seas fell off the truck? It wouldn't be the first time. Pascal, any excuse for a cruise? Absolutely. Evelyn wants to know, does Freedom of the Seas have WoW bands? No, at least not right now. I don't expect them to get it, but the answer is no, right now. Francisco Diaz, would you give any advice for those who need to travel on school holidays? My wife is a teacher, and her days are only following the school system. We have a very similar situation. I got 2 kids. I know the pains very well, my friend. My recommendation is book as early as you can. One of the, when it comes to cruising in general, the best way to get the lowest price, regardless of time of year, is to book as early as you can, because prices tend to go up over time. So if you're subject to the school calendar, you definitely want to be booking cruises 12, 18, 24 months ahead of time. It will really save you some money. Michael Poole is here. Michael, you're on YouTube? I didn't know that. 4 days until you get to go on another cruise. We're live! Michael, looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to, because I'm not going on the cruise, Michael, but I hope that Hillary has a great time on board. Jess, do you think that Odyssey will be like Spectrum or like Anthem? Definitely like Spectrum. I think that's safe. With some, obviously, there's some Asian features to Spectrum, but I hate to give you the answer of a mix of both, but a mix of both. Take a Jake break. Love that name. I heard WoW bands can be reused on another cruise, but how will they do that when they're color-coded your muster station? When you get on board the second ship, you bring your WoW bands back, you add to get services, you ask them to exchange them. That's how you get that. So you don't get to reuse the same exact band, it'll give you a new one instead. Ryan Perry, first time on Symphony in September. Any hotel recommendations for Miami the night before the cruise? Intercontinental, Miami is fantastic. The Doubletree Biscayne Bay is really great as well. Chef Sean wants to know, what class is Odyssey? Odyssey is going to be Quantum Ultra class ship. You think Hillary's going on the Super Bowl cruise? Heck no. Oh, so can Hillary come hang out with us? Well, we want the fun pool to come here and spend some time here. You have to be 13 to surf on the Flowrider. It's not so much about age, Sophie, as it is about your weight and height, I believe. Jonesy, are Sky Class suites on the Adventure of the Seas? Oh, no. There is no Sky Class on Adventure of the Seas. No. Sky Class is only on Quantum and Oasis class ships. Jennifer wants to know, are they strict on the age groups at Adventure Ocean? If a 5.5-year-old that would like to be with their 7-year-old sister, I see the group from 3 to 5 and 6 to 11. They're generally, you can ask, Jennifer. In my experience, they're usually pretty accommodating. They'll probably say something like this. All right, we'll allow it. If there's any issues, we'll then bring the kid back to the lower group. But you can certainly ask. That's a really good idea. What you want to do is do that on the first day of your cruise during the open house hours. Do it at that point. Vitamin Water, do I know Don from Don's Family Vacations? I do not. MJ, when you cruised on Brilliance of the Seas a few weeks ago, did you hit rough seas in the Gulf? Yes. Very, relatively speaking, rough. Not crazy, but yes. Garth, thank you for the super chat, Garth. Really appreciate that. Very, very kind of you, my friend. Thank you. Lisa wants to know, what's the best thing to do in St. Martin? Definitely the beach. I think if you go to one of the beaches on the French side, they have fantastic beaches over there. Grand Case Beach is my go-to recommendation. Hop in a cab, head over there. I think you'll like that quite a bit. Let's see here. Salvador, just got back from your very first cruise on Harmony. Thanks for all your help. My family was impressed on how well I know the ship and activities. I love that. I love that, Salvador. I love hearing people go on their first cruise and already feel like they're already a pro. Their family's like, wow, how do you know so much about this? Well, I watch this guy on YouTube. He looks like Brad Pitt. He's really talented, smart, and extremely good looking. And there you go. Rita, what's the best thing to do in San Juan? Go to the Spanish forts. El Morro and San Cristobal. Fantastic. Anastasia, going on a cruise for your honeymoon. Should we mention it to the company? Yes, you should mention it during to your travel agent when you check in for restaurants. Let them know as well. Absolutely. David Thompson, is the new terminal in Galveston an indication that Royal Caribbean will make more of a commitment to that port and will send newer, better ships? Commitment, yes. Don't expect necessarily more ships there, but Allure of the Seas Amplified is a really, really, really big deal, dude. I mean, you've had nothing like that up till now. Even Liberty of the Seas is nothing compared to that. That is a major commitment. Let's see here. Do you know, Jackton wants to know, do you know how many points you need to get to Platinum? I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's 30? I don't remember off the top of my head. 30 points. Pascal says it's 30. I'm going to go with that. Brian wants to know, how is the escape room on Symphony of the Seas? Fantastic. Worth every penny. I think it is worth it. Absolutely. Nigel, doing a back-to-back cruise in May. Can you stay on the ship on the changeover day? Yes. Well, here's what happens. At the end of cruise number 1, you'll report to a special area. Royal Caribbean will check you in for the next cruise, walk you off the ship, walk you back on really quick. You'll be the last ones off, first ones on board. And yes, you can go back to your room if you'd like. Jeff, how is Symphony in April? Like all year round. Fantastic. How important is it to make reservations for the entertainment? I think it is very important because, number one, there is no penalty. There's no, cost you nothing to make reservations. There's no reason not to. You'll stand to benefit from making them. So, Jeff, I think it's really important because it really makes getting into the shows a whole lot easier. When a show is about to start, when there's like 20 minutes before a show, they will have 2 entrances. One for people with reservations and one without. And people without have to wait around until a couple minutes before the show and then pick up any seats that are available. So yeah, making reservations, especially for things like the Aqua Theater show, really, really important. Hello, Sherry. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Andy, I have not been on Empress of the Seas. John O'Malley, would I recommend or discourage a transatlantic as your first? I would discourage it as your first cruise. I think it's something you do down the line. I don't think it's a good idea for a first cruise. Anastasia, can you talk a little bit about Independence of the Seas? What would you like to know about it? It's a little bit easier for me to answer specific questions rather than like, tell me about this ship. Well, it's a cruise ship. It's by Royal Caribbean. Like I can't rattle off Wikipedia entries for you. John Blahnik in the house. Enjoyed the meetup yesterday. So great to see you and for Debbie and I to meet new friends. Well, it was a pleasure as always, John, to see my favorite people from Oviedo in the flesh, and of course to wish Debbie a very, very happy belated birthday. Vanessa, can you make reservations years in advance? For cruises, you generally can book cruises about 2 years in advance. Tanya, I don't know if you answered my question. Is the key package worth purchasing? Tanya, the answer is no, and I'm going to tell you that I want you to go look at our video. We posted a video last week on our YouTube channel about why I don't think it's a good idea. Take a look at that video after this video. I think it's going to help answer your question very, very well. Is it possible to live on a cruise? I mean, to some extent, yes. It's just not quite straightforward. You're just booking a bunch of cruises, you know? With the key, you still need to make show reservations. Yes, you do, Toya. Brian, on Harmony of the Seas Lobster Night, will they serve lobster in the specialty restaurants or just the main dining? Just the main dining room. That's on the second formal night there. Sophie, are Asia cruises being changed because of coronavirus? 2 so far have. We have the details at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. They're both on Spectrum of the Seas. Wayne wants to know, are there bumper cars on Independence of the Seas? The answer is no to that one. Dina, have you ever cruised to New England on Royal Caribbean? Not yet, Dina, but I'm going on that. I'm doing that exact sailing this October on Brilliance of the Seas for my first time, so very excited to do so. G-Bone, why is Harmony your favorite over Symphony if they're similar? It's a lot like seeing a sequel to a movie. The original is always better, and I feel like Harmony of the Seas has Sabor, it has Columbus the Musical. I like some of the little details about Harmony just a smidge more than Symphony. Let's see here. Where did you get the Royal Caribbean Monopoly? eBay. Well, this came from Independence of the Seas. There was a press event in 2018 in which Royal Caribbean gave to travel agents Royal Caribbean Monopoly. It's a real game. They don't sell it, but I bought it off eBay. If you watch eBay long enough, you usually find one popping up over there. Loretta, do they have craps on Liberty? The game? Yes, absolutely. In the casino. Thomas Fitzpatrick, I really want to go on a cruise, but if my parents and brother aren't set, how can I convince them? For your parents, I would tell you this. Say, listen, family vacations are harder and harder to do as you get older, as we get older, blah, blah, blah. But cruise is great because we get to do a family vacation, but we're not like tied at the hip. We're not like, it's not like, we're going on a car trip and everyone's got to be together all the time. A cruise is great because you get to spend time together, but also have a little bit of separation. I think as a parent, that's fantastic because family vacations where you get to spend quality family time, but not be like joined at the hip is really hard to do, but very much desired. And as a parent, I would love that idea. Hunt, I like the new price tracker when researching cruises on their website. Really? Hunt, tell me more about this. This is on Royal Caribbean's website? Vanessa, what month is the best for Caribbean cruises? I would say anytime before in the spring here, from January to May, quite frankly. Laura O'Donnell, the pride of Kansas City, is here. Welcome, Laura. Glad to see you here on YouTube. Is there a Yahtzee on every cruise? No, definitely not. Leah, unless you bring it, of course, with you. Leah, any recommendations for great cruises for busy college students? My friends and I are looking for a longer cruise, but we're looking for ways to save as much money as possible. Ooh, good question. So, longer cruise. Want to save money. I mean, if you cruise during the off season, if you can go on a cruise the month of January, the month of September, the month of October, first 2 weeks of December, you will get some fantastic prices on longer sailings. So, Random Cast, any good travel agents I should use? Yes, I highly recommend MEI Travel. MEI Travel is who I use. Recommend them a lot. They're a sponsor of RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Basically, all you have to do to use them is to go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. So you'll see that giant yellow form. Fill that out. They will contact you. Jess, how many months before a cruise can you purchase a drink package? Usually you'll have a lot of time to book the drink packages. Usually it'll be many months beforehand. Easily a year, so you're good to go. Brian, does Symphony of the Seas have pool tables? In Music Hall, yes they do. Michelle, what is the difference between Voom Basic and Voom Surf and Stream? Voom Surf and Stream is about the fastest internet you can get on the ship. Voom Basic is throttled to keep it so you can't really use video. I don't recommend Voom Basic. I say get Surf and Stream regardless if you want to use video or not. It's just a better overall experience. Bill, what is your favorite sail away spot on Oasis? I think the Solarium. Out in the Solarium, in the front of the ship, gotta have that great view right there. Is Florida affected by the coronavirus? No, Andy. What is the best thing to do in Cabo San Lucas Resort? I haven't been to Cabo, believe it or not. I'm sorry, I haven't been there yet. We've got another super chat coming in. Brian in Florida. Brian, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Much obliged. Tony Diaz with a super chat. Tony, my friend, my buddy. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Really appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Soggy Frosted Flakes, great name. Is there a convenient place by the Miami airport taking Uber to buy our soda and wine take on the cruise? The answer is no, but not like you can like walk from the airport, right? Well, here's what I would do. Take a Lyft or an Uber, put it in for the port. But you can, in Lyft, I know you can add stops. And there's definitely like, convenience stores, CVS's, Publix is the name of the supermarket brand in Florida, along the way. If nothing else, you can just ask your Uber driver to make a stop along the way. That'll be totally fine. But there are plenty. There's not like you can't like walk out of the airport, go to a CVS, buy that stuff, and then get in a Lyft. That'd be really nice. You're probably gonna take a Lyft to one of these places, stop there, get the stuff, and then take another transportation over there. Let's see here. Loranda James is here, sailing on Navigator this season next Monday, and I'm having trouble downloading the app on my phone. You can't. I don't know why you'd have any trouble downloading the app. You're doing the right thing by downloading it beforehand. Loranda, what's the issue you're having? Like, what issues are you running into? Because downloading an app is pretty straightforward in the grand scheme of like Royal Caribbean or any app, quite frankly. Number one thing, it's almost cliched. Try restarting your phone. Turn your phone, not like, this isn't restarting your phone, right? This isn't, not like that. I'm talking about like, turn it off, turn it back on. Michael Garner, can I bring a bottle of alcohol from Cozumel and have the cruise story? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Brian Medina, how's the internet on Harmony? Fantastic. Yes, James, thank you. Hashtag sorry, Tony. I miss when, the best, I love Tony Diaz, and he gets so angry when I go on a lot of cruises, so Tony says the super chat was for how much you do look like Brad Pitt. Told you. I knew that. Thank you, buddy. Thomas, I found a good cruise for Thanksgiving 2020. When is the best time to book? As early as you... Right now. You should book it as soon as you can. Prices only tend to go up over time, Thomas. I would recommend booking it as soon as you can. Faija, when do you recommend parking in Miami? At the terminal. Park at the terminal. Easy, convenient. Offsite parking in Miami has a terrible reputation, unfortunately. For safety, that is. We've got another super chat. Panda Bear with the super chat. Thank you. Well, thank you, Panda Bear, for that very generous super chat. Thank you very much. Rusto, good night, mate. I'm boarding Ovation of the Seas in 5 days from Sydney to New Zealand. What are your thoughts on Ovation? Sorry, I had to. Typical American, right? Ovation is fantastic. I'm going on Ovation for the first time in June out of Seattle to Alaska. But having been on our sister ships, Quantum and Anthem of the Seas, it's a great class of ships. If you haven't done, you're going in 5 days. This may be too late already. But book the entertainment ahead of time. It's a great ship, great dining, great shows on board. Check out the shows, really, really. Pixels is excellent. Mike says, I saw Matt yesterday, looks exactly like Brad Pitt. Look, I mean, it's like looking in the mirror. Sometimes I'm watching a movie and I'm like, whoa, am I in this movie? Oh no, that's that other guy, Brad, right? And then I'll be watching Avengers and Chris Pratt takes off his shirt. I'm like, whoa, am I looking in the mirror? Like, that's that other guy who's not as good looking as me. Okay, I got it. Michelle. Guys, don't encourage me. Michelle, any recommendation of transportation from Melbourne Airport to Port Canaveral? Lyft or Uber? Lyft or Uber? Who are you flying to Melbourne Airport? I don't even know who flies there, like commercially. JJ Cruise, any news on entertainment for Odyssey of the Seas? Nothing. I don't think we'll know much about that, quite frankly, until much closer to the sail date, I would guess. Stacy, have you ever been on a Panama Canal cruise? Not yet. Not yet. All right, so LaRonda is still having issues with the phone. LaRonda, I see here you have an Android 601. Did I miss any follow-up stuff there? Because LaRonda, I mean, there really should be no issues downloading the app. Again, I would try restarting it. That's probably the best thing I can advise you. If that doesn't work, I would go. Do you have any like teenage nephews or grandsons or neighbors who could possibly you put this in front of them and you're pretty much good to go. If nothing else, I mean, heck, you might even go to your phone carrier's store and ask them for some help as well. You should have no issues downloading the app. And I see Michael's helping. Michael's super great. He's a really, really nice guy. David Carlson, one of my favorite spots in St. Thomas, Magens Bay. Can't go wrong with Magens Bay. It's fantastic. Brian, Florida, cruising out of Miami in March. Where do you recommend to park? At the terminal, Brian. At terminal. No question about it. Don't even consider off-site in Miami. Let's see here. Mini Superwoman. Remember I told you I was going in Majesty of the Seas? Yes. Michelle Birnbaum, is Jewel of the Seas getting the app this year? We'll see. I hope so. I think it's probably reasonable to expect that, but so far, Royal Caribbean has not shared any kind of schedule of when you can expect it over there. So, Preston, why doesn't Symphony of the Seas have a poolside movie screen? I found that odd. It's just the nature of the Oasis class. I don't think they have space for it, quite frankly, because they don't have a giant main pool. They have smaller pools, and I think they knew if they put one movie screen by one pool, everyone would be in that one as opposed to the other ones. So they have and they also have the screen over in the, instead of a movie screen pool, you have the movie screen over in the Aqua Theater, which is what they kind of use as their backup over there. Tiffany, going on Labadee in November on Oasis, what are the best excursions? You don't really need one, Tiffany. Just walk off the ship. It's a beach day. Go to Columbus Cove, spend the day there. You'll love it without spending an extra dime on that. Stacy, is there currently an even bigger ship underway? I meant bigger than Symphony. Yes, Wonder of the Seas. It's like a couple feet bigger. Don't get excited. But technically the answer is yes. Tess Hardy, flying out in 4 hours to go to Sydney for your first Royal Caribbean cruise on Radiance. Thanks so much for your help. Tess, have a great time. 4 more hours, my goodness. Jennifer wants to know, am I going on the inaugural cruise of Odyssey? I do have it currently booked. The 4-nighter? Absolutely. EHNSWTC, any recommendations for travel agents? Yes, I use and personally recommend MEI Travel. You If you go to RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, you'll see a giant yellow form there. Click that, fill out that form, they'll contact you. Thomas, when do you expect the Thanksgiving cruise on Allure to be fully booked? No way to know ahead of time, dude. There really is. And when it happens, it happens. I know you're trying to figure out when do I have a long time to book? The issue, Tom, is not so much when it's going to book up, but when is the price going to start skyrocketing? That's the bigger issue. Kelly, what do you think about the Diamond event being taken away on Majesty? Do you see it coming back? Maybe. I don't think it's that. I'm conflicted about this, honestly, Kelly, because Majesty doesn't have a Diamond Lounge, right? The Diamond Lounge is on other ships, serves its purpose, and obviously having the Diamond event takes away space from other guests on a ship that has where space is at a premium. So I can understand why that's an issue. On the other hand, I don't know how many people were really clamoring to go to the Diamond Lounge in the evening for a couple hours, but clearly it's created a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure, quite frankly, but yeah, I don't know how to. I'm very conflicted. I can see it both ways, you know. I know you guys. Some of you are saying there's audio problems. I haven't experienced that, but I'm sorry about that. Not sure why there's audio issues there. I'll try to see if I can fix it. We only have a couple more minutes here. I'll fix it after the broadcast. Elizabeth, what's the difference in price between refundable and non-refundable rates? It'll depend on the sailing, but usually can be as much as a couple $100s. Cyril, are you sailing to Perfect Day Coco Key in October? The commanders through Water Park are at $500. Do you think there will be a sale at a lower cost? Here's what I would tell you, Cyril. If you see a price, book it now. Because if the commanded price does go down, Cyril, you can cancel and rebook with no penalty instantly and take advantage of the new price. But the reason why you want to book it now and not wait is it might go up in price. And you don't want to be like, oh gosh, I should have booked it back when it was $500. So book it now. Is that Jobu on the shelf behind you, Frankenloader? Yes, it is. Got my my 80s corner over here. I got Jobu. I have a Blockbuster VHS tape right there. Alf. Teddy Ruxpin. Speak and Spell. Jobu's not. Jibo's not from the 80s, but. And I got a Demogorgon over there. Intermittent audio issues, not a big inconvenience. Okay, sorry about that. Jerry says, thanks to you and your sound advice, we booked with MEI Travel and have several more bookings with us. Thank you for supporting our sponsor. Really appreciate that. Jess, how many cruises have you been on since you started cruising? I think like 50 or so. I think I'm in that ballpark. It's crazy. Thomas, have you been on any other cruises? Disney and Norwegian, many, many years ago. Preston, would you recommend saving money and buying a guaranteed room? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see here. Mike says 80s rules. I'm from the 80s. As am I, my friend. As am I. Hello, Desiree. Welcome. Francisco, why are prices lower on travel sites versus Royal Caribbean? They're not. They're just misleading pricing. A lot of times travel sites will have... Sometimes... Let me backtrack that. The answer is sometimes they are, but in a lot of cases, travel websites don't include fees, taxes, port fees, things like that. Trust me, the cost is pretty much the same across the board. The difference is... you can have in certain situations, a particular travel agency has like a special group rate or something like that. But this isn't like a car dealership situation. The price really is the price across the board. So, again, in other cases, there are sometimes travel agents that have a special rate because they have a group set up or something like that. But generally speaking, the price is the same. So, just what I recommend staying in a balcony or a suite, whatever you can afford. Don't overpay. They're both great. You'll love it over there. So. Cool Cash Games. On a cruise, can you FaceTime back home with Voom? Depends on the ship. I've had pretty good luck with doing so. Awesome. Well, guys, on that note, I gotta run. Thank you so much for joining us here. Really appreciate your support. We do these live videos every Monday right here on YouTube. And when we're not live on YouTube, you can, of course, check out RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great rest of your week, guys. Do something fun. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.